Welcome from Baku, Azerbaijan, for the first FIDE Grand Prix. We're here together with Grandmaster Teimour Radjabov, one of the top players of Azerbaijan, a very well-known chess player, and we would like to ask you some questions, Teimour.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy to reply on your questions, so answer them.
Okay, so what are your expectations during the FIDE Grand Prix?
Well, okay, of course I would like to play my best chess, and because, okay, I'm happy always when I'm doing my best, okay, I'm getting sufficient results. So in general I would be happy to play my best kind of chess, so with the aggressive style and with all those games that I'm producing sometimes in KID or some Sicilian battles against big players. Well, but okay, of course I can only be sure about my efforts for the tournament, but not about the result, of course. It comes after the games and so on. So in general I'm normally prepared, I think, and I'm playing a lot of tournaments during the year, so of course the form it's how to say, it varies from tournament to tournament. It can be very good, like it was in Vaikanzei. It can be less good, but still good, like in Linares, and not so bad, but maybe good, like in the Russian Championship. So it's like, you know, it's going on, and well, I'm more or less happy about the last results, and the Russian Championship we won with the Ural team also. So okay, it gives me the positive energy at least.
Okay, and your rating now should start to increase. This is not your highest that you are currently, is it? Is that correct?
No, this is, I think, the highest, 27.51, but, well, still I plus some 3 points from some tournaments, and so, okay, it's around, now it's around, undergoing with 27.53, 54, something like this.
Right. You'll be playing, of course, in the first 4 FIDE Grand Prix. So what will be your aspiration, you know, let's say, for rating now by the August one in Sochi?
Well, but it depends on the tournaments, no? I mean, it depends how I do in the Grand Prix, how I do in the Sofia, because one day after the tournament I'm starting to play in Sofia. So it's also a very hard thing to do, because here are certain rounds without any rest. And, without any rest, I mean that you don't make fast draws or this to still keep energy like we do sometimes in the big tournaments and super tournaments. Yeah, and here it's Sofia rules, so not possible to offer a draw, and it's a big and hard experience, I think. And before the tournament in Sofia, it's very hard for me, I think.
Okay, so you have previous experience with Sofia rules? Have you played in one of these tournaments?
Well, I played in Odessa Rapid Cup, but it was not that strict, I think, because it was like we could accept draws when we know the position is really drawish. I mean, we didn't ask for the arbiter because it's rapid, and you know, you are getting, if you will start to think about about how to address the arbiter with your draw offer and so on. I'm not so much in general I'm not so much impressed by so strictly going on these rules. I would prefer that the rules would be a bit more comfortable for the players, because it's okay, I'm not for the Sofia rules in its total form. I think it should be a bit, less strict. I think it should be like players can agree themselves if they see it's a clear draw. And in general, to my understanding, the Sofia rules are against short draws, not against the draws itself, I think. And, well, definitely for myself that I finished already this experience of making short draws anyway, so I didn't care too much if Sofia rules comes or not. So for me it was fine already. I was playing all the games, and it's okay, except for the team, because for the team sometimes you can agree on move 10 if the captain says that this player you should stop, let's say, today, and then you do this draw, and that's it. Then you can do it in 10 moves or 20 moves. Captain doesn't care. He sees you need a draw today. That's it. With black or with white in 15 moves or in 10 moves, nobody cares. In the team's rules, it's totally not right, the Sofia rules, I think. But in the normal tournaments it's right, because it's against the short draws. For example, people are getting money for playing in the tournaments, and quite big money, let's say big guys like Anand or Kramnik or others big players. And of course organizers want to see that they're fighting their best, and they're, okay, maybe bad word, but they're working for their money at least. Yeah, and that is what Sofia rules is, what it is for, I think, for against short draws and for the fight. In general, because this system of not wasting energy, keeping some energy in the tournament, in the big tournaments, it's quite typical for nowadays tournament. But okay, I think that it has, it's in a strict way, in a strict form, it has its bad things too, because you have to think how to address and how to do it. Still, I'm a bit against it in its total form. But in general, I'm for me, really, I would prefer the draw rule until move 30. You cannot agree. this would be 20 times better, I think, than the Sofia rule in general. Because I'm not against the rule itself, but I'm against a bit that you can not do it at the end. Because sometimes in the move 30-35, let's say, both players, someone doesn't want too much risk, and they play the good game still anyway. And they think that, okay, the position is quite complicated, and they can lose if they start to play too much aggressive. What for they should do it? I mean, let's say Kramnik, for example, he has the style as a solid player, and I think Sofia rules will never be taken for the World Championship crown. And as it's not taken for the World Championship crown, it should not be taken for the cycle also, in my understanding. So it should be something like, you are playing for the World crown, you are going to be qualified, so you should play by the same rules that you will play the match, so not the different one. So it should be, everything should be the same like in the World Championship match, I think, in my opinion. And, considering the other tournaments, the super tournaments and so on, it can be the Sofia rule or 30 moves rule, exclusion. Because here also there are, many players, they need sometimes to take less energy, because it's also the tournament tactics. And when we say that in other sports we don't have, for example, this offering a draw and accepting the draw, we also have many things completely different from other sports, where two players sitting, one plays white, one plays black, totally different system, and it's more to the art, not to the sport in its real form, the chess itself. It's more art. And, of course it has the sports and combative things like, the results, the tournaments, cross tables, and the fighting spirit of the players, physical preparation, and so on. Yes, but in general, it's more art. It's completely different from other sports, and I don't think that we should take really the system of other sports. Why we should do it? We are a unique sport, and we have our own history and our own culture in the sport. It's completely different from football. Okay, we are also, let's say they are comparing that. Imagine the football is going, and the people they are agreeing on draw, let's say at some point, for example, and everybody is upset, and the crowd and this. Okay, there are 11 players getting, I don't know, millions per year. Of course, they are playing for 1.5 hours. It's fine. I agree with it. Yeah, but in general, okay. In chess, it's completely different. There are players. They have their own strategy. It's one-on-one battle, and so on. And so, also, imagine I want to win the tournament. It's not in my interest to make 10 draws in 9 moves in general. So I want to fight, and I will do it. Yeah, and other people, they can still, let's say, think first 4 rounds he will make the short draw, but then he will start to fight like maniac and so on. I think that we should keep the unique, the sport as unique, and okay, for showing on the TV, I think we should go for the system for more fast chess. For the rapid chess on the television, because on the television nobody will stand this 2 hours to 7 hours games in general, and it's very bad for the promotional point of view, because okay, if they will start to, how we say sometimes, me and Grishuk and other guys, we say that okay, if anybody starts to look at TV as you move in 40 minutes one pawn h2 to h3 and nobody understands what it is, and then okay, it's not a beauty too much, but when it's the rapid, you see faces, everything changes, mistake, and you see the emotions, and the person is unhappy or happy about his move, and so on, so on, so on, and it changes every 2 minutes, every 1 minute, so you see the action, in fact.